Are you ready for it? Hey, what's up you guys? It's Chris and you're watching Disney Talks. Now let's talk Taylor Swift. So hi everybody, welcome back. Long time no see. I apologize again. I'm not even going to explain that gap. Anyways, I'm back now. And I thought I would do a video since Taylor Swift has the Tortured Poets department coming out literally in like a week or so. I thought I would do a video ranking my favorite albums of hers in anticipation for the new release. So yeah, follow along. Let me know what your favorite rankings are. This is not based on like lyrically poetic lyrics. If it was, it would be a way different ranking, which I will do later probably. This was just like initial, not second guessing what my favorite albums would be, like nostalgia way, or you know whatever. It was just like, don't overthink it, Kristen. Just pick, like right off the top of your head what you think, how you think you would rank them. So I have it. I'm not going to change it. It is what it is. So just initial ranking of my favorites. So let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so going from least to favorite, in the number 10 position, which is probably not surprising, I think maybe a lot of people have in their number 10, is Debut, Taylor Swift. The first one, don't get me wrong, when this came out, I loved it. I was a Picture to Burn girly. Like, oh my goodness, I loved that song. Teardrops on My Guitar, Tim McGraw, our song, Cold as, yeah, it's just, I loved it, but compared to like the other stuff that's come out, it has to be last. And I'm sure when the re-record comes out, like for a lot of people, it's gonna be like a whole new album, and it's gonna be I think it's gonna be really exciting. So I'm really looking forward to that. But just for like initial releases, initial thoughts, it's just last. It's a number 10. Somebody has to be a number 10. So let's just get that out of the way. And this is where it starts to get like, oh gosh, I don't know. But in number 9, I put Fearless. Now, I love Fearless. I have, I owned all the CDs. I owned Debut, I owned Fearless, Speak Now. And I know that album lyrics, like back to back, heart to heart, but just like compared to like the stuff that she has released since, I'm like, oh, like I just feel like 9 is a good place for it. I love like Forever and Always. The piano version is like so amazing and I love it. And Hey Stephen is like one of my favorites, but I just think, again, if something has to go at 9, I think it has to be Fearless. But I'm still a Fearless girly, and like I feel like the music can still resonate with, you know, girls in that era, but she just has so much more stuff out now that Fearless feels safe being at number 9. Alright, so number 8. This may be controversial, but oh gosh, I don't even know if I should say it. It grew on me. It grew on me, I'm not gonna lie. But I have Lover at number 8. Something has to go at number 8, I know, but when it first came out, I wasn't really vibing with it. Me was obviously the release or the title track, and I didn't like it, and then it kind of like turned me off of like the album, but then like it grew on me, and like Death by a Thousand Cuts is like, that song is honestly, it's the best song on Lover, I think. Better than Cruel Summer. Death by a Thousand Cuts is like it just hits different, and it's catchy, and it's amazing. And also, like, It's Nice to Have a Friend, that song gets slept on, and I think that song is great. And of course, like, Afterglow and Archer and all that stuff, and Daylight and everything. And then I Forgot You Existed is so fun and so funny, and I love that song. So the album really, really grew on me. And since then, I really went through a Lover era, and I really, like, appreciated it. But I wasn't sure. I was like, does it go above number 7? Does it go underneath? And then ultimately, because number 7, I have a lot more emotion in it, I guess. So that's why I was like, okay, I guess it has to go number 8, but it's such a fun album, and it's like, it's a redemption. It's a redemption album for sure. Like, people talk about Reputation's a redemption album. Like, Lover really had a resurgence and a reputation within me. So it pains me to put it at number 8, but it's there. It's there, and I still love it, and I listen to it all the time. All of these albums are 10 out of 10, but for ranking purposes, it's my number 8. Which brings us to number 7, and what was fighting for like Lover in that position, and it's actually Midnights. So I put Midnights at number 7 just because the vault tracks she released from it are insane, like insane. And You're on Your Own Kid that she released separately it's actually my favorite song of hers now, and that like throughout, like, you know, all my other previous top songs, like it's number 1 and everything else kind of just got like pushed down. So it's like I couldn't put it lower because it's just such a beautiful album. Like everything from like the heartfelt ones, like, you know, Would've, Could've, Should've, You're Losing Me, which is my favorite like ever. Pathological People Pleaser. But yeah, Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda, You're on Your Own Kid is absolutely, oh my god, like it, yeah. Any album that she releases, it seems to be like this like huge like cultural shift, and it's amazing to see. And I feel like You're on Your Own Kid, it started the friendship bracelet movement, because like make the friendship bracelets, take the moment, you know, it's like that's what started it, and it's amazing, and such a cultural reset, and just it's so good. Maroon, like, oh, and then like the bops, like, you know, like Anti-Hero and Karma and all that stuff. It's just all around, it's a very solid album, and I think number 7 is a fair place for it. So okay, so that brings us to number 6 already. Oh my gosh. Whew. Now, I love this album, and I love all the albums, I'm just saying that, but this album I feel like is going to be a lot lower than a lot of other people would put it. But just for me, I think it deserves where it is, and that is 1989. I love this album, and the vault tracks again are amazing, and I'm so glad she re-recorded it. And Wildest Dreams is like the anthem of my life, but there's just like, it's so good, but I'm like, there's just so many that like I think it's nostalgia. I just have like such a nostalgic pull for other ones, or like I'm such a sucker for like her poetry and her lyrics, and I'm trying not to base it on that, but there's, yeah, I just have like such a pull towards other ones that I feel like 1989 can go at 6. It's fair. She owns it. It's hers. Love the cover photo. Clean is obviously superior. And I just, yeah. Oh, I feel so bad putting it at 6, but it's at 6. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. Ah. Alright, it's the final 5. The final 5. The top 5. This is so hard because they're all honestly number 1s. And I've gotten rid of a lot of good ones so far, but we make do. We get through it. So coming in at number 5, I put Folklore. Now, again, I was debating on putting Folklore or, you know, another one. And when it first came out, I loved it. No Body, No Crime and Exile, I thought are like some of the best songs. I don't know, I just love them. So creative, so like, I love like the chilling, like, kind of like vibes of them. And so I was a Folklore girly. And then Illicit Affairs and the bonus track The Lakes. I just, oh, like they're just so magical, so whimsical, and like, oh my goodness, and like just the love triangle, and it's just so magical and ethereal that I was like, oh, yes, it has to be in the top 5. It has to be. Like, even though they're newer and like a lot of people get a lot of hate on being like only like a fan of her because they learned of her through the Folklore and Evermore eras, but I'm like, but the albums are so good, like I have to include them. I have to. They have to be like in the top 5. So yes, so number 5. Which brings us to number 4, which is Evermore. Now, here's the tea. When they first came out, everyone was always like, oh, are you more of an Evermore? Are you more of a Folklore girly? And I was like, no, I'm Folklore, like, till the day I die. Like, that album is just amazing. Like, Evermore, no, I'm definitely Folklore. And people were, like, posting, like, I'm an Evermore. I'm like, what? I don't understand. Like, Exile and, like, Nobody No Crime and, like, The Lakes. And I was like, oh, I'm, like, such an Folklore girly. And then I discovered Champagne Problems. And then I discovered Marjorie. And it was over. Happiness. The bonus tracks. Literally Closure, and like Closure is so good. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I honestly Folklore and Evermore are like, they're sisters. It's like either one, 4th or 5th, it doesn't matter, but just like initially I'm like, yeah, it's number 4. The album cover, which I'll be ranking album covers later, but it's like one of my favorites, and I love it. And just, yeah, Marjorie just, oh my goodness, it's just so good. The whole album is just, again, it's so ethereal. Like she says that, you know, how she writes with like a gel pen, a quill pen. They're so quill pen coated, and I just love it. And yes, I think it definitely deserves to be number 4. Justice for Evermore. Evermore girly now. Evermore girly. But both. I'm a both girl. But yeah, so that was number 4. Okay, number 3, I'm already regretting this because I feel like it should be number 1. It should be number 1, but I'm going off of like nostalgia. But like I feel like it should be number 1 because I love it so much. I'm like, I can't, okay, just, I'm gonna say it because I have it put down. I'm not thinking about it too much. This pains me, but number 3 is Reputation. I can't even believe I wrote that. Number 3, am I kidding myself? I'm in my Reputation era, like all the time. I love the Reputation vibes, the energy. Don't Blame Me is, I'm gonna be bold and say it's probably my favorite song. You know, like, yeah, my favorite bop. That song is just, it just hits different. Oh my god. And King of My Heart, and oh my gosh, Dress, everything. That album is just amazing, and it pains me to put it at number 3, but I'm like, I guess it has to be. So I'm sorry, Reputation, but I'm ready for your Reputation, and I'm so ready for the bonus tracks that we're gonna get for that album. Oh my god. The resurgence of Reputation, that's what I'm living for. That is what I'm living for, and I'm so excited. Let's get into the final 2. Okay, so we've gotten rid of all of the other ones. So the final 2, this is it. These are the top contenders of my initial ranking, and coming in 2nd place is Red. Oh, I love Red. Oh my goodness. Red was my favorite album for the longest time, and for some reason I didn't own the CD, but it was my favorite album for like the longest time. Even the cover song Red was a bop. Red. All Too Well 10-minute version now, thank you. Rowan, like that album, I put it in 2nd for the fact alone that it has so many songs. It's like her biggest album. It's huge. The amount of songs, it's crazy. Like, she gave us so much. And so, yeah, I had to rank it number 2 because it's just, it's so nostalgic for me. I love it. It came out when I was in high school, and I just, yeah, I can't get over it. It's number 2. Forever and Always will hold my heart, and always will have a soft spot for it. So that's why it's holy ground. It's sacred ground. So that's why it's number 2. And finally rounding us off, because we have to have a number 1, I'm sure you can probably guess because it's the only one that's left, and I couldn't help passing it up and putting it as number 1, and that is Speak Now. It is so nostalgic. It was my favorite album. I can quote, or yeah, I guess quote that album backwards and forwards. Long Live was my favorite song. I think, like I said, it's been downgraded, bumped down a little to make room for You're Losing Me, but just Long Live, and there's like the quotable aspects of it in that era when she toured that era, that was just amazing. The vault tracks, When Emma Falls in Love, is like a new favorite song off of Speak Now. Again, the artwork and just the vibes, and yeah, oh my goodness. When people always ask me what's your favorite album, I just instinctively think of Speak Now, so I think that's why I added it in my first position. But it's a banging album, so like I do not blame myself at all, and yeah, I just love it, and I can't wait to see what else she has in store for us. I mean, literally, she's treating us so much. Literally, we just got Midnights, we just got like 2 re-records, and now she's like Tortured Poets Department. I'm like, oh, I'm a sucker for poetry, and she is a poet. She is, oh my gosh, so creative, and I just cannot wait. So if you will be like me, busy on April 19th, when the Tortured Poets Department gets released, oh my gosh, it's gonna be such a blast. Let me know if you've been to the Eras Tour or if you're going. Try to get tickets, waitlisted, waitlisted all the Vancouver shows, waitlisted, I think I applied for Seattle, waitlisted. I applied for Toronto, I got in, but I was 12,000 in line, so all the tickets were gone. But I tried. I fought the Great War. I did not survive the Great War, but I watched it many times on Disney Plus, and that's good, and I'm hoping maybe I will get a chance to go to see it in person and have like my just world brains explode. But if not, just talking about it with you guys is almost as good. Almost as good. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope to be back more regularly. I'm not going to say every month, but like more frequently. You can see my face. If you want to check out more frequently, I'll link my Instagram and my TikTok below. I post more frequently on there. So you can check that out. I'm going to Disney World soon, so there'll be lots of Disney World content on my Instagram and stuff, so be sure to check that out. And also let me know what else you guys want to see. I just went to Disney Channel Night, like I said, and it was a lot of fun. If you want my review on that, I'd love to talk about that. But yeah, in the meantime, thank you so much, and I've had the time of my life fighting dragons with you. It's just so good! Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Bye! I got this at Disney Channel Night. It was awesome. It was a blast. Anyways.